Hello, 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 and welcome to the Rag Company podcast. I'm Dane Hennen. Across the way is Anthony Fisher, and to my left is Levi Gates,
the master of shine.
But
where was the cadence?
You know what? I'm just mixing it up on purpose this week. So whatever. I'm just trying. Having a little fun with it.
Whoa!
We have a special guest here.
Okay, this doesn't happen on the main show. We don't have guests.
He brought us a gift.
I'm sort of
I'm
imposing myself here.
Well, that's just a bit much, don't you think?
Well, you guys seem to be struggling with this Pepsi sponsorship thing, so I thought I'd bring something in with a good name on it, like mine.
Okay, so for those who are only listening and can't see what just happened, a Mr. Yvan Lacroix just stepped into the room, and he was holding a case of Lacroix sparkling water.
Cran raspberry.
This podcast is sponsored by Lacroix sparkling water that you can get at your local big box grocery stores.
Anywhere.
You had your chance,
station.
Pepsi.
It's refreshing, delicious, and 0 calorie.
I'm going to have to tear this sticker off now.
Oh, no.
And even
Don't worry, Pepsi.
you can get it at dollar stores, Big Lots, places like
everywhere.
that. And listen to this.
And crack one of those open.
Just kidding. This isn't the main show. This is a paid advertisement. Just
that's
kidding.
pretty refreshing.
So now we have
goodness.
this is our centerpiece for this episode. No towels here.
Yeah, well, you know what? I think I'm going to partake
Please,
too.
go
So
ahead.
I'm going to get myself a
nice.
fine LaCroix.
I brought them for this reason. I think I mentioned this on the podcast that I was going to bring this.
You were going to drink a LaCroix while sitting next to a LaCroix. Is what you
He
said.
talked about how he had a penchant for doing this, and now he done did it.
Yeah.
So, at any rate,
Whoa.
well,
later on,
I
we
mean,
can take a hit off of that. Some of the
O&R
gets
just
a little
found his way
crazier.
under the table, and O&R is the choice of a new Ivan generation? I don't know.
New
Yeah.
detailing generation.
The choice of an Ivan generation.
I
You
like
got the
that,
right
choice
one,
of the
baby.
new
And all
detailing
those that
detail
follow.
generation. I like that.
But
Yes.
you don't drink O&R. No.
Okay.
Oh.
Well,
And it's not good on cereal.
now
That-
you tell me.
That explains my stomach cramps for the last year, and now I know.
Oh,
I thought it
man.
tasted like blueberry.
It smells so good.
So, anyways,
All right.
Ivan, welcome
Yes.
to the Rag Company podcast.
And this
We're
is-
happy to have you here.
And we
Well,
got
thank
you
you.
on the main show. So not a detox cast, folks. This is a main show. So
Yeah.
we're basically just going to hang out and have
Cool.
some fun.
We're doing what we do every week. You just happen to find your way in at a very convenient time.
And
so
brought drinks.
we're gonna treat you as if you're just one of us. You're gonna talk about your weekend and what's going on. And if we happen to find our way into a conversation about detailing, hey, that happens too.
that's where it goes.
We'll try to avoid that.
Well,
we'll try to avoid
God forbid.
Nobody
okay.
listens to us talk about detailing. That's weird.
Oh man. Okay. So, well, guys, what happened?
We didn't really have a weekend.
Oh, that's
We
true.
didn't.
We
No.
worked.
We literally. So
We all
last you
worked.
heard
It
us,
wasn't
we
just me
all-
this time.
Yeah, we all worked on Saturday.
Yeah.
Basically, we had Pam, the organizer, here
Up until Friday.
up until Friday afternoon.
Yep.
And then it was a mad dash to get the studio cleaned and ready.
Quite literally, things were flying through the
It was-
air. There was forklifts. There was.
We literally
pallet
had
jacks.
like 2 or 3 hours left.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of work.
I got a
Yeah.
video coming up. You'll see what it looked like the day Pan arrived. It pretty much stayed that way right up until we had to do the wrap
Which
thing.
I felt bad because Pan, the organizer, right, shows up to a very unorganized studio.
Yeah.
And I had to explain, I'm like, hey, we're sorry about this. We've had a lot of trucks coming in. We've had a lot of things having to get moved. Normally, this is more organized than this.
Yeah.
But he was very forgiving because I think he was in that weird bead maker phase where it's like a haze where he kind of
Yeah, he
blacked
was
out.
still- yeah.
And he was still like kind of like not
He
sure
was dizzy
what was
from the
going
bead
on.
maker.
Yeah,
That
I don't know
happens.
because he was using too much or if he just liked it that much. I'm not really sure. But
I think it just messed with his brain. That's all.
I think it
We'll
did.
wait and
Like
find
we
out.
scrambled it.
So that was Friday evening. Saturday morning, we had to wake up bright and early.
Yeah.
And by bright and early, I mean
And
the sun was
literally,
still on the rise.
still finished setting up
Yeah.
the space.
We did it about
because-
75% of the way,
Yeah.
and then we left it because at that point it had been a long enough
Yeah.
day. We'll just come in the morning.
Yeah, so we
Deal
got
with
in
it.
early. All of us, we set up, and we had Justin Pate from the Rap Institute come, and then we had 3 local installers: Joe from Signs to You, Casey from the Rap World Inc., and Randy Rhodes from the Rap Shop.
Yeah.
Which I might add
And-
took over our previous
Yeah,
building.
they've got our old location. So those 3 guys plus Justin, basically, they wrapped a Honda Odyssey minivan.
Yeah, oh,
which
yeah.
you
With
might think you're like,
chameleon
oh,
wrap.
why a minivan? But it's actually really cool.
It was cool. It was a color shift chameleon wrap. So
Sunburst, yeah.
it was green, to gold or green, yellow, gold, dark orange, and then like a Merlot, purpley red.
That chameleon going on. And
it was all metallic.
It was meant to, at the end, they were kind of saying it was meant to symbolize kind of like a sunset. And then he had a mountain motif going along the side was just kind of like a black silhouette. So you had like a little mountain line just
came out
along.
Really cool. You guys can check it out on YouTube. We have a full live stream of the entire event.
It's like 6 hours long.
It's like 6 hours. You're gonna need breakfast, lunch, and dinner watching that video there.
But no, literally, one of the guys, Steve from Dirt Dart, actually left to go get tacos and kept watching the live feed.
Yeah, he and I were talking through the comments.
Yeah, commenting with Dane like he was sitting right next to him, but he was eating tacos and having a beer down the street.
Yeah,
he got the better end of that bargain, I think.
Yeah, he came back over to watch the rest of it, like showed back up so he could be there for it. But
awesome.
Yeah, it was great. So we did have, but we had a lot of people. We had about 50 people show up.
There was a lot more than expected, and the fact that they stayed for almost the entire thing, which was incredible because we started
6 hours.
Yeah, we started around 9 a.m. and then ended around 3:30, and people were still hanging out. It was crazy. I mean, that was like the longest clinic we've hosted.
But that's why I like the crowds who show up to our stuff. They're passionate. They want to see this stuff, and they just like hanging out. You know, they just want to hang with the crew. And because I noticed this in the comments. Somebody asked like, and this relates to TRC how? And I thought that was interesting. It's like, well, it's still doing restyling on a vehicle. Detailing is its own thing, but wrapping can every bit as much be a form of...
What do you use to clean your wrap?
Yeah, and you use towels for all that stuff.
I mean, what do you use to wash your wrap?
So I didn't see that as a negative comment. I saw that as an opportunity to go, just in case you hadn't thought about it, here's why. And, you get to open it up. So.
Well, and it was, Justin's he is like the best rapper in the world.
He is so...
Like car rapper, not lyrical.
I'm sure, because I was going to say, I've never heard any of his albums.
I haven't heard him spit bars.
Well, he's actually coming with a rebuttal to MGK and Eminem here pretty soon on that whole thing. So wait for that.
Yeah.
It's just another one on the list.
The thing is that, for example, they did some gloss black wrap on the minivan in certain spots, right? And what I saw is that the gloss black, it can indeed swirl, swirl out, so you still have to use premium products on there. I'm sure it could be cured and probably fixed with heat so many times before it's not going to work anymore, right? You need to try to prevent those scratches.
It can be protected too.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Definitely, yeah.
My customers, I always used Gloss Coat or Optimum Car Wax or OptiSeal all the time because it was so easy to use, especially on wrapped vehicles.
If you can do it to paint, you can do it to wrap mostly.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, paint is plastic.
Yeah.
So
most people don't know that.
So that's kind of where that argument can come into play, but there was a lot of information packed into that little amount of time, and you physically had to watch, because if you guys know Justin, if you've ever seen any of his videos, he's quiet. He has a very calm and collect voice. He's not going to sit there and yell at you. He's not going to give directions. It's basically you either listen closely or you're going to miss it. Yeah. So when I was asking him, he's like, so I'm going to do this. I'm wrapping this portion. And I'm like, can you say a little louder for the people in the back,
But I like his presentation style, because in conversation, he is a bit soft-spoken. And he basically, when it comes to that stuff, he's very, realistic in how he approaches everything. But when you hear him talk, he's just got this style when he's presenting that there's a subtle humor and everything in it. Yeah. And when he's talking, you're like, oh, no, this guy has a lot of practice. He's done this a lot.
Yeah, and we had him mic'd up, and he did. He came back on. His big thing was he wanted to just get in the zone and work.
Yep.
Because they had a lot of work to do in that amount of time.
Yeah, they wrapped the whole thing in the time frame that we gave them.
In 6 hours, and they did a fantastic job.
They tinted the taillight. They wrapped the taillights and the headlights in tint, which was even cool too. And they did a chrome delete on the entire vehicle.
And that was a big part. That was actually a big part of it, because I know that was really time consuming to do all the emblems and do all of that. And that was super interesting to watch. But it was, I think, the fact that I think everybody was on the same page when we started seeing the wrap being laid down, and I think specifically they were using the Avery.
It was the Avery Dennison stuff.
It was the perforated.
It was perforated, but it's got a perforation underneath, so that you can push out bubbles anywhere into it, and it'll help. It creates air channels underneath, so it can air out, like to the point that they were saying you can literally rip this stuff off. Crumple it up, and then pull it back out, lay it down without any slip solution at all. You can lay it out and just squeegee over it. It'll lay flat again.
Yeah,
and
that sounds so expensive to me.
Which was pretty insane. Like, it was insane watching that, but I think everybody's on the same page when he laid that first piece down and he finished the hood. And by himself in, what was it, 3-4 minutes, and we were sitting there and we were like, is it that easy, or are you just making it look that easy?
Yeah.
I loved watching the comments when he's working on the front and people are like, oh, he's going to need to cut that. And just watch him. Nope. He made that fit. He made it work. Yeah. And for those who, think, oh, a minivan, it's a bunch of flat sides and stuff.
Not the
Odyssey in particular is unique, at least in this generation, where it has the really funky kinked window in the back and it's got all these angles and stuff. It was actually a fairly complicated procedure trying to make it fit around the window frames. And then, of course, they're doing the chrome delete on the trim and stuff. But it was really cool to see him work with the sliding doors and around the hood. Yeah. All the areas where you're like, how do they do that? Because I've tried it before. And if you aren't, of the right mindset to wrap stuff, I just go to a professional.
I think the biggest unknown was when he goes to do the front bumper, right? That was the part
Anthony
where I'm
and I
like,
literally sat down and just sat on the floor when he got ready to do that. And we're like,
because that's the unknown. That's when we say we get the big flat panels, but when you have a bumper with the aerodynamics, you have the full bumper cut out in the middle there.
There's fog lights, there's grills.
How does that work? Like, what do you do? And so seeing how he basically went around the bumper, molded the areas and laid flat the areas around the curves and ridges and all of that, the main areas. But then he had this space in the middle, right? And what he did is he basically kind of felt around, and he said one of the biggest tips that he had for people doing this is to always take a picture of the front of the car, so you could always reference back to that picture if you ever get lost in knowing where
I know what's under here.
Yeah. So he made his cuts and basically said try to make smaller cuts at first and move to bigger cuts, and then once you start kind of folding in the flaps. But it was a lot, I don't want to say easier than what I expected, but seeing how he did it is truly an art, though, because I would be like, well, let's start by doing it right here. Let's start doing it right here. And he had this method. He's like, no, you do this corner first, then you lay this underneath, that underneath, and
that's where experience can really, really overtake any kind of like, oh, I watched a YouTube video and I'm just going to take a stab at it. Well, you'd literally take a stab at it, and next thing you know, you've wasted a ton of, fabric.
Well, and that's kind of the whole goal of us. Like we said, we always try to educate. We always try and have people here, like Mr. Lacroix, like Justin, like having Pan here. Like, our goal is to just educate our customers and our viewers, our listeners. And the cool part about that event was that we had detailers there, we had PPF guys there, and we had vinyl wrappers there.
People had never even been to the shop before, and suddenly they're interested.
And those three groups and PPF guys, they usually just don't connect.
Not really, no.
Yeah, and so the goal was to bring them all together so that detailers who may be afraid of a wrap or maybe afraid of PPF can like kind of get an idea on how it works, and the PPF guys can come and go, oh, and maybe meet a detailer. Or the wrap guys can finally meet detailers and PPF guys, because the three of them don't ever really run in the same. They're starting to more and more. There are more and more detailers that do everything. But here there's still this disconnect. And the whole goal was to network.
And you rarely see someone that does wrap that works their way into detailing. The detailer will work his way into PPF, will work his way into doing wraps, but you rarely see someone that does wraps or straight up PPF working their way into detailing. They see it almost as a demotion.
Yeah.
But in another world, it's a lot. It's a very different mindset. It's a very different talent to do that than detailing.
And you're also using different muscles.
Yeah. Oh, it is. And when I had a shop, the guy that would come in and do our wrap and do our PPF, two different people, but their mindset was, if I don't do it 40 hours a week, I'm going to lose it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be good at it.
Yeah.
I can't do anything else.
Yeah.
If they take a week off, they actually book less work the week coming back from holidays because they know they're not going to be as efficient.
Ease back into it.
Yeah,
and that makes sense. And that's one of the cool things about Justin is he does his company, the Wrap Institute. You guys heard him on the podcast, but that's a monthly membership you can sign up for, and that's where he puts all his podcast, all his YouTube videos, all his tips, tricks, all that stuff, clothes, tools. He designed, like, he had on his wrap pants that he wears, and they're shorts that are like
stretchy.
They're like capris.
Yeah.
So that his reason was that they stick down farther, so that he can, if he's on his knees, they don't look dirty.
Yeah.
And that way they can either he can roll him down so that his knees don't look all black and dirty when he's climbing around on the floor. He goes, or he can roll them up because he does have them farther down and they're dirty. And so he can roll them up and then he's got clean knees. But then he also had these like rad pouch, like Velcro with buttons that he could stick, basically like a detailer's helper pouch
Anywhere.
to his pants on these attachment points. So that way he could put all his tools and squeegees and stuff on his pants.
Well, I think
'cause
Mr.
he's always
Efficiency
squatting.
here definitely approves.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
it was pretty rad, and he has these all designed up and they're a pair of shorts that he'd helped design for that purpose. So
Exactly.
guys could just have that, and he goes, and then you just take these off, fold the flaps down, and you can go to dinner or go to lunch or meet with a customer, and you're not like
Wrong.
in everything. Yeah, Ivan's just falling down into the basement.
There we go. That's
But no,
and you can
but it
adjust
was,
your mic if you want to. Just bring it up a little.
Yeah.
But it was fun.
Perfect.
So, yeah, we did that. And then, we got out of here about 3. We picked up a little bit. We took him over to the new studio, took pictures of the van in the new studio for fun.
While it was running.
Yeah, while it was running because it was dead. It had a dead battery.
That happens when you leave everything on.
Yeah, detailers know that.
Yeah.
But it was fun. And then, so what did you guys do after that? I just went home, hung out for a bit. I started working on the Elantra, started tearing off front end panels and things like that.
Oh, yeah, you were sharing some pictures of your work.
Yeah, I just need to get a new AC condenser. I ordered that. And then once I can put that in, I'll put the rest of the front end back together. And as easy as it was to learn how to wrap, I think Anthony and I were talking, I'm going to rattle can the front bumper myself. I'll paint it in my garage.
You should let me do it. I know
really
a thing or two
good
about rattle canning.
I am too.
Are you?
You just volunteered, Anthony.
I was told that I was one of the best rattle can
I
jobs
heard that. Yeah.
this guy's ever seen.
Yeah. So, but we'll probably film it or something. It'd be fun to do.
Oh, sure.
We'll paint the front bumper in my garage or something, and then as easy as watching that wrap, and we've got some leftover wrap.
Yeah.
And we know the guy from Fellers.
Yeah.
It's true.
I was thinking we might wrap the Elantra, and
Well,
it's a high performance machine.
Well,
It-
custom
it
build,
is.
understandably so.
You know.
I get it.
Well,
I got it.
Ivan was upset when I picked him up from the airport, and it wasn't there.
What is this?
Oh.
It's like,
He
sorry.
misses.
But I did get to ride in the S10.
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
S15, sorry.
the
It's a
Sonoma.
GMC.
Sonoma.
Yeah.
It's newer than the S15.
Yeah,
Sorry,
it's a little newer, but he missed the neck snapping quickness of it.
Well, high
Well,
performance wrap
actually,
for a
this-
high performance machine.
Exactly.
That silver doesn't do it justice.
I'm Mr. Pedantic. The Sonoma is the S15. The S10
It is.
was the
Yes.
Chevy version. I
Yeah.
just want to allay any comments
Oh,
that might
good.
come
Yeah,
flying
yeah.
your way
Thanks,
because,
Dane.
excuse me.
Thanks.
Yeah,
for that,
no.
Dane.
You want to
It's
get
not-
technical? It's a ZQ8 Sport package.
There it is.
So-
Yep.
That's why you were going around the corners like that.
Well, yeah, of
Okay.
course. Yeah.
Very good.
It's also a high performance. Everything I own is either a sport a sport version, or a sport influenced.
I'm just happy he dipped
Vehicle.
into rear-wheel drive. That's all I know.
Yeah, well, likewise. I've had one front-wheel drive car in my life.
How was that?
I had it for 6 months.
Yeah.
I was afraid to drive it
Makes
in the
sense.
winter.
That's how that went.
Wait, afraid to drive a front-wheel drive
Yeah,
in the
because
winter.
he's a good driver.
That's
why.
right. Oh no,
He's like
I'm not.
me.
I'm not saying that out of shop
He
because
knows
I
how to
totally
handle-
understand with the right
handle
tires
a
you can
beastly
do.
vehicle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just know there's people out there who are like, but somebody told me front-wheel drive is good for snow, and well,
Let's see.
it's
rear-wheel
it's
drive.
a little more idiot-proof. but-
1899 to 1990, roughly. Most cars were rear-wheel drive in the winter. We got by really well, and we really had crappy tires then. Now we have great tires, and everything's front-wheel drive. You go around a corner, you get a little enthusiastic with the accelerator pedal,
Right.
and you can't turn anymore.
That's why you pull the e-brake and spin the wheel to the
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Slide into the turn.
You turn the
Yeah.
wheel and you just slide into things. And you're like, why am I still going forward when I'm turning? I don't
Whereas
understand.
with rear-wheel drive,
Yeah.
you hit the throttle and turn that way. Much easier.
Oh, you got all the control in the world.
He's like,
I know.
he's like, it's called drifting. I don't know if you guys have ever
Yeah,
heard
I
of
know.
that.
all the
They
guys
call
with
it dirt
Panther
tracking.
platforms are clapping right now. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that's right.
But-
yes, thank you.
When I grew up, it wasn't called drifting. It was called driving.
Oh,
This is a way of life.
Yeah.
So what else did you do after that?
That was it. We kind of came home, hung out with the kids. We took Watson to the park because he likes to chase the ball.
Yeah.
So we got him like a bigger ball that's like as big as he is, and he herds the ball.
Oh.
So we kick the ball. He goes running after it, and he like basically plays soccer with it.
Yeah.
And like directs where he wants it to go and stuff. And then my kids got a boomerang, and we went out to the park also to throw it. And we were doing really good until I accidentally threw it into a tree.
Was it actually coming back to you? That's the question.
Well, no, the wind caught it and pushed it another way. But I had been getting it to come back around. It just wasn't coming all the way around. So I was able to get it to do like there and back, but not able to like, it would arc, 10 feet to my right.
Is it rubber or
No,
wood?
it was like foam.
Foam? Okay.
I thought he was going to say it's wood, and then I go, whoa, buddy, you're pretty hardcore about this.
Well, I started looking on Amazon because I'm like, I need to get into boomerang. And
he's like, it's a high-performance machine.
It's a real sport. It's like it's a fancy sport.
I need to protect this house with this boomerang.
Not some cheap knockoff. I need the real thing. Yeah.
Billet aluminum.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Breaking my windows as coming back around.
That guy died.
You throw that once, and then you never.
I'm sure someone makes a carbon fiber boomerang somewhere.
I'm sure I can find it. So that was it. It was pretty simple, pretty laid back. Carly took the kids to church on the scooter.
Nice.
So she took Hadley on the scooter to church, and then took Augie home, and I followed in the back on the car. So
very cool.
But yeah, it was a good week. What'd you guys do?
Oh man, I didn't really get up to much, but the usual. I want to see what Anthony did this weekend, though. He's always got ideas. He's always doing something.
What do you mean I'm always doing something? I'm doing the same thing everybody else is doing. But no, I guess I did do some stuff. After the clinic, my little brother, he's going on, it's like he's part of this, it's like a Christian youth group where he's basically going to, on a mission to Nepal here next month. And he's going to be there, and then parts of India. So yes, Ivan. So,
my stomach just churned a little bit there.
So he's going to be there for 3 months. He's going to be there, and so he's 21, and this is his first real experience leaving. So we had like a dinner for him last night, and so he's actually living on this campus for this youth group now. He just moved out. And we helped him, with his stuff and like that. And so I went out to dinner with him, kind of talked to him about his plans, like what he's looking forward to. And he's just excited just to try something new and go somewhere that he's never experienced, because he's actually never been out of the country. I don't think ever out of the continent. I mean, he's been to Hawaii when he was a baby, but that was about it.
Yeah,
so
most people who've left the country did not go to Nepal, though. That's pretty.
So he's looking forward to. I think I don't know. What do you think is pretty
That's cool.
safe?
Yeah.
Pretty cool over there.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Okay. So we're excited for him. I think he's going to do like a lot of just mission type projects and things like that.
A lot of service.
Yeah. So we saw him off that night, and then later that night, my roommate Blake was headlining a show at the Knitting Factory, which was a packed house.
Nice.
Which was awesome because I showed up. He's played a couple of shows there before, but this one, it was a free show, which was nice. You get free tickets if you through radio stations and things like that. Yeah. But I walked in, and he plays kind of like a post-hardcore alternative music.
What's their band name?
It's called We Were Giants, and so
they might be Giants. We were Giants.
And so, but no, watching it though, I mean, the crowd is full. People were mosh pitting. I mean, it was a pretty big show, and they did an awesome job. So I got to watch that. It's always funny because I'm there taking video and stuff like that, and people are looking over and they're talking like, oh my gosh, I love this band. I'm kind of like, yeah, that's my friend up there on the front of the stage.
Yeah, he forgets to do his laundry.
You're like, look at me, I'm important.
So that's Blake. Yeah, we've lived together for like 7 years. So if you want to know anything about him, like let me know. Like I know he's really famous right now.
You're the creepy guy trading in secrets.
Yeah. I'm like, hey, yeah. So so that happened on Saturday night. Sunday basically was it was just a lot of just around the house stuff. I didn't do. I was wondering if I was going to do any type of detailing. I did a lot of laundry for towels. I had a bunch of towels, stacked up. Ended up doing a lot of. They're actually my really dirtiest load of towels is what I ended up washing. And
the struggle.
But what's always amazing though is that. Whenever I wash towels, I'm always curious. I'm like, because if it's a really bad batch, I'm like, which towels are really going to be at the end of their life, right? Like I had some minxes in there that have been used far too many times, that sat in a bucket dirty for far too long. and it always amazes me when they come back to life, and I'm like, thank God, you know.
Well, we've done things where we had like mold growing on them before, and we went, let it go a little long.
And when we washed it, and it was magical, and they were brought back to life. But we'll touch more on that.
We destroy microfiber here for a reason.
Yeah,
so.
a lot of testing goes on in-house and out of house.
I was to say, make it sound like it's an abusive relationship with microfiber. I'm sorry, microfiber.
No, but so after that, then I told you guys I think it was on Thursday, I bought a video game. I don't play a lot of video games, right? But I'm waiting for the Spider-Man game.
He literally left important things to just be like, guys,
dinner with Pan so he could go get a Spider-Man game.
I'm sorry, I need to leave. And it wasn't because his meter was running out.
He made sure he ate.
Oh, yeah. He got his food.
Well,
he
dined
and dashed.
I had a drink.
And then he left.
And then I left.
He literally got up.
Thank you for that, everyone. And so played the Spider-Man game pretty much all day long. Just I didn't really do a whole lot after that, and that was kind of my weekend. But it was funny because it was just one of those weekends where I either didn't sleep enough or I just felt like I was just out of it. I'm like, crap, tomorrow's Monday already.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It didn't feel like you had that day to relax, so to speak.
I think
it's a different kind of brain.
It was just last week because we were, when the Pan was here, we were out till probably 9 o'clock each night.
I wasn't, but you guys were.
We did. So we went out to dinner a few times, and so it was just one of those like, oh man, we're back at it again. Right?
Yeah, we worked a lot.
Yeah, and so, but I'm leaving you guys here on Thursday. I'm going to be in California for
really bummed about
Thursday through Sunday. Going down to Huntington Beach with some friends. So we're going to go. Man, I don't really know what we're doing. Like I'm trying to think, what are 4 dudes going to do down in Southern California that would be fun?
Well, you can go visit Solution Finish.
Oh, there you go. Go say hi to Chris.
Hit up Chris.
Oh, I could, huh? I didn't even think about that. Who else is down there?
Well, like a ton of detailing companies
here
in Southern California.
Right? Well, I know I'm going there for
Beach area. You got a bunch,
play, not work.
Just put it out and go like, hey, I'm going to be in Huntington Beach.
What's good to do?
Yeah, on Instagram, on Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
Have a bunch of people hit you up, be like, oh my gosh, Anthony, let's go eat. Okay.
You might get free food out of it.
Yeah, you might get some free meals.
That would be pretty nice. Yeah.
So if you're listening to this and you're in Southern California this weekend and you want to hang out with All Day Anthony, feel free to email him at anthony@theragcompany.com.
Yeah, if you want to hang out with 4 dudes, I wish we were better looking. Sorry, I wish we had some girls with us, but just it is what it is. But anyways, Ivan, what did you do this weekend?
Well, let's see.
You had a vacation, technically.
Yeah, I was on vacation all last week, which meant I worked on OptiForce 1, my bus. It was a mental vacation instead of a physical vacation. Just need to get a bit of time off. Dr. G noticed that I hadn't taken any time off in 2 years, so he said, you're taking next week off.
You earned it.
Yeah, well,
Every 2 years, I like to take a week off.
And work on my bus. That's what happened to the finger and the thumb and all that. But anyways, so this weekend, Sylvia and I took the bus to the RPM Speedway on Friday night, which is a local dirt track, to watch the OptiCoat number 25 from Eric Rudolph Racing big block modified race.
The sprinter cars?
No, they're a big block modified.
Oh, okay. I don't know the classes.
Yeah,
so
2,500 pounds, 900 horsepower.
That's a lot more than your typical
and
sprint.
A dirt track, which means drifting. Or as we call it, dirt
is there
track.
multiple cars racing at a time, or is it one like time trial?
No, 30 cars at a time.
Oh wow! So there's some demolition that happens. I'm guessing.
Hopefully not.
Okay,
but occasionally there is.
Remember, he was a safety tech. He doesn't want that to happen.
Big wings on the roof.
No,
right?
No, the modifieds don't have wings.
So which one's the ones that have the?
Those are the sprint cars.
Those are sprint cars.
See, I got it confused in my brain.
So the sprint cars. They're a little different class of car.
They're a little smaller, too.
They're smaller. They're roughly 1,400 pounds, 900 horsepower. Better power-to-rate ratio than a Formula One. Just, if you're looking at numbers.
They need to put them on dirt just to make it fair.
Well, no, actually, dirt has more adherence than asphalt.
Oh. See what happens when you listen to the expert. Yeah.
You get a lot more traction on dirt than you do on asphalt. People think it's like on your gravel driveway. Mm-hmm. No. It's a clay surface. It's moistened.
Okay.
It's very tacky. Sometimes you'll walk across the track, and if your shoe is too loose,
take your shoe off.
Take your shoes off.
Yeah. Okay.
So there's a lot of traction there. So the dirt modifieds, they hook up to the track to the point where sometimes they'll go down the front stretch with one wheel off the ground. Normally the inside wheel is off the ground, but sometimes both wheels lift off the ground.
Off.
Yeah.
Yeehaw.
So
there's so much torque on the car.
Yeah.
But it's just doing that 3-wheel motion.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
400 and some, or close to 500 cubic inches.
Yeah.
Lots of torque. And no mufflers.
Yeah.
So we took the bus there, stayed at the RPM Speedway, and then Saturday night we went to the Drummondville Speedway to watch them again.
Nice.
So same group. It's a touring class.
Oh, cool.
So Eric Rudolph, which is the Optico car, he won the track championship at his 2 home
cool.
tracks. So
Yeah.
he's double track championship this year.
Nice.
And now he's racing in the Dirt Supercar Series, which starts at Labor Day weekend and goes to Super Dirt Week, which is beginning of October in Oswego,
Oh, okay.
New York.
Yeah.
So now he's touring around all over the Northeast. And then after that, they go to Charlotte, North Carolina to race there.
Down south.
Yeah. So quite an interesting weekend. And then Sunday, I worked on the bus again.
Yeah.
Nice.
So this whole week you were working on the bus. You were telling me about your water heater, and like it's awesome. So it's bus heat, water heater, and engine block heater,
Yeah.
all basically wrapped up into one.
So it's a product called an AquaHot, and we removed the bus, the actual heater core from the bus. And everybody's used to their heater core in their car, which is, maybe 12 by 12 at most. The heater core in the bus was 4 feet long, 2 feet 2 feet high, and 4 inches thick.
Jeez.
So that's the heater core, and it had 2 squirrel cage fans, about the size of the ones on the furnace of your house.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
It was a bit overkill. Normally buses, lots of windows, no insulation,
Yeah.
so they need a lot of heat. We've insulated OptiForce 1 really well.
Yeah, with the spray foam and all that.
Spray foam and EHP, which is engine heat protection. It's a 1/8 inch thick ceramic insulation, which is equivalent to about 6 inches of foam.
Oh, cool.
It's such high performance that it doesn't even figure on the R scale of insulation.
Whoa. Okay.
So it's above that.
So it's very, very efficient.
Yeah. But so we don't need as much heat as the bus heat
Yeah,
was
because
putting
now
out.
it can hold it.
Yeah. Basically, we had it throttled back as much as we could. I disconnected one of the fans, had it throttled back, and in -20, we'd be driving down the road and we'd still have to have a window open because it was a little too warm.
Yeah.
So we took that out, and we needed the space to put the AquaHot in. The AquaHot is a large boiler that has a diesel-fired heater, basically heating the boiler. But you can also heat the water in the boiler two other ways. One is using electric hookup. So if you're in a campground and you're hooked up to electricity, you can do it that way. Or as you're driving down the road, the heat from the engine heats the boiler up, giving you the heat within the bus, and also.
So that way, like you were saying, when you drive up, let's say you're driving for the whole day and you get to your spot where you're going to park that night.
Yeah.
You don't have to wait for the boiler to warm up because it's been warming up all day.
Exactly.
And
it also provides hot water. So we can have a shower right then and there.
yeah.
That's nice.
And if you park somewhere cold, you were saying,
The AquaHot heats the engine.
yeah. So no need for a block heater.
Right.
Yeah.
So
So
cool.
what? So
So it's
can
a
you-
fully integrated system.
for people that are new, completely new, because maybe that don't follow you on Facebook
Yeah.
or anything, have no idea what this bus is. What's like the best rundown that you can give on what you've done and what this came from?
Okay, well, it's a 1973 GMC 4905A. Started life as basically a Greyhound bus.
Okay.
We bought it. It was already converted into an RV. It's a lady from Oregon that had it.
Okay.
But she's originally from Oregon, and she's moved back to Oregon now. She's past retirement and now into the age of where she can't drive too much anymore. So
Got it.
but she used to go from Arizona to Alaska and back.
Oh, wow.
Every year with the bus. She got to a certain point where the bus was just too much for her to handle. She sold it to another gentleman who bought it from her in Arizona, drove it to Texas, parked it there. And he worked in oil fields. It was just his residence while he worked in oil fields. He retired from that. We bought it from him, drove it back home to Quebec, and we've been working on it ever since, but also driving it and using it. So we're doing a total renovation on it to eventually become our home.
Okay.
Because I travel.
Life on the road.
Yeah, I travel a lot, doing trainings and speaking and all that.
yeah.
So, and I find it's a much easier way to travel. I don't have to deal with airports. I have my own bed with me. I have my own kitchen.
All your stuff is right there.
Yeah. I have my bike. I've got, all my...
And sometimes his wife.
Yeah. Well, she does most of the driving.
Yeah.
So, while she's driving, I'm answering emails and all that stuff. But so we've done a lot of things to the bus. There's still a lot of things to do to it.
Yeah.
I'm sure we can edit in a picture of it somewhere.
Oh yeah. No, we'll definitely
Tim
drop
can do
one
that.
in there.
Yeah, and you can check it out on Facebook. It's got its own Facebook page, OptiForce One.
Yeah,
right?
Where is it
OptiForce One
today?
bus.
Yeah.
OptiForce One bus.
So for people that are curious, what is the cost of getting into a bus? I mean, a bus like that. Like how, you know what I mean? Like what
you can actually. There's a group on Facebook called Bus Conversions for Sale. That's probably the best place to look for buses. A bus that is in the 50 to 20 to 50-year-old range. You can pick up anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000. We paid $5,000 for ours.
Oh wow! Yeah.
As soon as we got it home, put another 20 into it.
Yeah.
Just
There
to
it
make
is.
it. Yeah, but I mean, they're a lot less expensive than a standard RV.
Yeah.
They're a lot safer than a standard RV. They drive better. A standard RV is sort of wallowy going down the road.
Yeah.
This is solid as a rock.
Because like an RV, you have the very light, the usually the body is just fiberglass or something like that. It's very, it moves a lot.
Yeah.
It feels like you're driving something made of paper compared to.
Yeah. In the bus world, standard RVs are termed sticks and staples. But the bus, like our bus, is a monocoque. There's there's no frame. So when you open the baggage compartment, or as we call it, the basement, it's actually walk through. Like you can see one side to the other, full length of the bus. The actual structure of the bus is the body.
Okay.
So like a car, it is a unibody. It's a monocoque. It's all aluminum. There's a few steel pieces here and there, but it's
weight savings.
Yeah.
Well, actually, all in, it's 30,000 pounds.
Wow.
Which isn't that bad for a 40-foot long.
I was going to say, how long? 40 foot.
Yeah,
Okay.
40-foot long, 12 feet high, 8 feet wide.
Yeah, and so you can fit a decent amount of stuff in this bus. I mean, what can you
house.
I mean, you can fit. I mean, are you talking for people that are curious? I mean, do you have like a couch? You said you have a bed in there. You have a kitchen. You have a shower. I mean, what can you not fit in that?
Well, let's see. We have a queen size bed.
Okay.
We have a closet. We have a full size bathroom, kitchen. We have a home refrigerator, not a RV fridge.
Oh wow!
By the way, most RV fires are caused by the fridge, so we didn't want one of those with all the work we're putting into it. We have a couch. We have lounge chairs. It's basically a home on wheels.
Yeah.
It's a tour bus.
Yeah.
We'll put it that way.
I saw it. I got to see it when you just bought it, and you guys had you had picked it up and you had gotten it in Memphis.
Yeah.
And then you were going to take it back home to actually do work. And Sylvie had been, while we were doing the trainings at Optimum, Sylvie was like ripping stuff out and throwing it in the dumpster at Optimum, like tearing
all the old what was
stuff out.
What had been
Everything
done
must
in the
go.
late 80s disappeared really quick. But in the basement, we like riding recumbent trikes.
Oh yeah, that must fit great down there.
So we have the two recumbent trikes. I've got a barbecue, a smoker, and a Blackstone in there. Full toolkit.
Yep.
I carry actually a hood stand, all my Optimum kit.
Just demonstrations at the campsite for people who come around.
Exactly. A show backdrop. That's all in there, and we still have space. So next is a folding kayak. That's the next thing I want to put in there.
And then you tow the Jeep behind it.
Yeah, we tow the Opticoat Jeep behind it.
Which is a JK Wrangler, those of you that are wondering.
Yeah.
4-door.
Yeah, exactly.
Very cool.
The quintessential tow
and
vehicle.
And the bus has plenty of power to do all of that, right?
Well, and the old bus was that you had prior to this. That was one of the reasons you bought this bus.
Yeah, the old bus was a 1964 GMC. This one's a 73. The other one had a 6V71 Detroit diesel. And this one has an 8V71 turbo Detroit diesel. So
little
bigger motor and turbo.
More power, yeah. The Detroit diesel is, for those that are your gearheads, it's a 2-stroke supercharged diesel to begin with. And now ours is compound, supercharged, and turbo.
Oh, twin charge.
Yeah.
Pretty dope. Yeah,
that's pretty sweet. Yeah,
From 1973.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. That's pretty cool. Strip
And-
that thing out and turn that into a drag bus. Is what
Well, it sort of sounds like it.
Does it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically I've got a 6-inch pipe coming off the turbo that goes to the ground. That's it.
Oh wow.
6-inch. That's
Oh, you can hear that. You can hear it. Pretty,
That's gotta
you can
be
hear it pretty
loud.
good then. Yeah.
It's not quiet.
Yeah.
But you're 40 feet in front of the engine. You don't hear it unless you're going through a tunnel.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
But-
He's like Sylvie, windows down, floor in this
Exactly.
thing. Yeah.
No,
Drop a gear.
Through a tunnel, it's floor it, hit the jakes. Floor it, hit the jakes.
Yeah.
It's a nice,
Yeah.
nice symphony
rumble.
coming from
Good
back there.
sounds
Yeah.
coming from that.
But
Yeah.
getting back to the Detroit diesel, it's an engine that was first introduced in 1938. So
That goes back.
1938, 4 valves per cylinder, supercharged, roller
4 valves
rocker,
per cylinder back then.
yeah, roller rocker, roller cam, oil injection under the pistons to keep them cool, common rail diesel, all things that are
And just-
supposedly
yeah.
modern,
Yeah.
and supercharged on top of it just for fun.
No, the people with Detroit diesels, people are, they like Detroit diesel. They want that
Yeah, and
engine specifically.
and it has a certain sound. The 2-stroke Detroit diesel, you're going down the road, it's turning 2,100 RPM. It sounds like it's revving 16,000 RPM.
Growing up, I remember school buses generally had, some
Yeah.
variant of that. And that was a very specific sound you knew
Yeah,
when it was coming.
Yeah.
exactly. So,
There was a guy at Bonneville one year when I was like 14, cruising around in a square body Chevy pickup,
yeah,
just a 3/4 ton long bed that was lifted, and he had stuffed a Detroit diesel into it,
yeah,
and had, I remember seeing like 6-inch exhaust pipes running. You could see them come out of the fender,
Yeah.
like an upper fender well, and then all the way along the bottom of the truck.
yeah,
And then he had it dumping out right in front of the back tire, and he just cruised that thing around the pits
Yeah.
at Bonneville, and it sounded like a jet engine.
yeah.
Like, just because it was the way it was idling and sound, like it was sucking so much air too.
Well, it's
while
got
it
a
was-
lot less plumbing than like your
it
average
was,
thing.
It was cool.
Oof.
It was
Yeah.
one of those where I was in love with the truck
Yep.
and
Yeah.
that motor. It was pretty wild.
Well, it's a modular engine, so they made an inline 3, 4, and 6 cylinder, and then they made a V6, V8, V12, V16, V20.
Yeah.
Was a V20 like a boat motor or something? Or?
Yeah, they're still
Okay.
making the engine for marine applications.
Okay, that's what I suspected.
Yeah.
Okay.
But on the road, inline 6. Well, the 3, the 4, the 6 in inline were all sold for on-road applications, and then you had the V6, the V8, and the V12 for on-road applications. And then
That's cool.
you had the 3 cylinder sizes. Well, actually 4, but you had 53 cc or 53 cubic inches per cylinder. 71 cubic per cylinder, 71
Holy.
cubic inches per cylinder, 92 cubic inches per cylinder, and I believe the large one is 121.
Oh my god.
So mine is
the
an
displacement is just
So
Yeah.
one cylinder is the size of the Honda's engine.
yeah, basically.
Yeah.
so mine's an 8V71,
Okay, so
568 cubic inches.
Healthy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool.
What kind of
That's
torque
amazing.
are you
6 mi-
putting out of that thing?
close to 1,200, something like that,
Yeah. Pretty sweet.
and
That's
6
awesome.
miles per gallon.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
so the mileage comes into question
Yeah.
then.
But if you think about it, and you're also towing, that's with the Jeep on the back, fully loaded, right?
With or without the Jeep, it's 6 miles per
Yeah,
gallon.
basically. But
Yeah,
like
it
most
doesn't change.
RVs
Oh yeah, you're
are usually running gas.
Mm-hmm.
90% of the time they're running gas, and they're barely getting 8.
my
and-
wallet cringes anytime
and
I
you may
see
only
those
have a
big
20
V8 non-diesels
Yeah,
going
and
around.
you may only have 25, 27, 30 foot. You've got 40 feet.
Yeah, and I have something they don't have: the basement.
Exactly. Yeah,
True.
that's the biggest thing.
Very
They have
true.
like little compartments that they kind of put.
Yeah.
So a bunch of little trunk space where you've literally
A lot of
basically
people
from
actually put a
axle to
bedroom.
axle.
Yeah,
Oh.
Can you would you just kind of crawl? I mean, how high would you say that is underneath? there?
3.5 feet.
Okay.
I can
See?
sit up in the basement.
Oh wow.
So
So
a lot of people
it's-
put a child's bedroom down there
Oh,
with
that's kind of like scary.
too
but
young to be
also
claustrophobic
yeah, yeah. If they don't know any better, that'd
But-
be kind of cool. I'd get like some type of window maybe inside
Yeah,
there.
Yeah,
well,
you can do that too.
the main bay. Well, the 2 front bays are 8 feet wide, 6.5 feet long, and 3.5 feet high.
And in terms of safety, you're probably more secure down there in the event of a
you wouldn't be sleeping.
No.
It's not during travel. It's when you're.
I was going to say, because you can't get out, you can't move. You're stuck if you.
But a lot of bus companies back then actually had a bunk for when they were running 2 drivers.
Oh, okay.
One driver
that guy goes and
So while one is driving, the other one's sleeping down below with the luggage.
I figure it's going to be long enough. It doesn't matter. So
insulate it, right? Get some rid of that road
Jeff,
noise.
if you're listening to this, sounds like we need to get ourselves a bus.
Forget Sprinter vans.
The Sprinter
Rag company bus.
Going straight to buses.
The rag bus.
I think the fuel economy might have freaked him out, though.
I don't know. That's what we were getting. That's actually, if you think about last year, our trip to SEMA,
we were getting like 8.
We were getting between 6 and 8 towing that trailer in the Escalade.
Yeah.
Well, it's just not meant for that.
We could have taken a bus. You could have been playing your Spider-Man video game.
Yeah.
Dane could have been snoring in the lazy chair.
Dane would have been editing videos.
Yeah, he could have been editing videos.
Back there.
We could have built another podcast studio in the back. Hanging out.
We have a mobile.
You can get up, make a sandwich.
Mobile podcast.
We could have bunks.
No question.
Yeah. Well,
a lot of 6 bunks.
A lot of the tour buses have 8 bunks. They'll have where we have the bedroom in the back.
Yeah.
They'll have a lounge area.
Yep.
And then they'll have
bunks in the hallway.
Rows of bunks in the hallways.
For your rock bands, you just pile in. And
Well, $5,000. We put 25 into it, right? We're at half the cost of a Sprinter van. Right? And it could be awesome.
Your dollar goes a lot further.
And you can wrap them.
And we could wrap the bus.
There's one that's in San Francisco called the Torculator.
The Torculator?
Yeah.
Like a percolator, but a torculator?
Torculator.
Well, twerk the dance.
Yeah.
The twerk.
Twerkulator. Oh, my God. Wow, that's totally
Sign
different.
me up. Let's
got a stripper pole
Anthony's on
lounge.
So it is a rolling lounge.
I'll bet it is.
Yeah, and you can look it up online. It's got its own Facebook page, the whole thing.
Listeners are doing that right now.
Yeah, but it's wrapped in gold metallic wrap.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
You can't miss
I'm sure
it.
It's got tassels hanging from the mirrors, too.
No, he's got a stripper pole in it.
Oh, yeah, he just went straight to...
Go all in.
Yeah.
You're like, he's actually a very well-respected member of our bus conversion community.
He actually is, yes.
He's helped us out a lot with a lot of questions.
Don't disparage. Yeah.
No, but awesome. But the bus, you're talking about cost. With my traveling, it's actually less expensive to use the bus than any other means of travel. If I look at my cost to come here, let's say, because of the distance, it was cheaper to fly. But if I were doing 2 or 3 things along the way, it's actually cheaper to take the bus.
Makes sense.
Like next month, I'm doing a tour where I'm leaving Quebec, going to Florida, then Tennessee, Kentucky, back up to Chicago area, and then back home.
Oh, flying that would be a nightmare compared to
before SEMA, folks.
Yeah,
before SEMA.
No, I'm doing SEMA in the middle of that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
SEMA in the madman
and SEMA
and SEMA, but in all of that, I don't pay any hotels. I don't pay any flights.
It's true.
I don't pay any restaurants. That to me is the most important one. I eat my own food, how I want it, prepared the way I want it, because I'm the one cooking. But on my own schedule, et cetera, et cetera. So and I'm sleeping in my own bed. I've got my own shower.
Yeah, your own pillow, all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Jeff's an old road dog, and that's why he rents us houses whenever he goes somewhere, he wants to rent a house.
Yeah.
And
don't do hotels, do that.
He wants to he wants to stop at the grocery store and get groceries and have. So just because he lived a life while Dane was growing up on the road and in hotels, and he's like, I don't. Well, even before your parents, they were in a band, and that was he's like, I'm done with hotels, and he'll do it like when he needs to, but even now he's like, he tries to find something unique. He tries to find something fun, and that's why he wants to do like either a fun hotel or
you don't go
different.
For the easy thing, like just hotel on the strip.
Just get a Hampton. Yeah, he'll make us do a Hampton or like a regular hotel.
Motel 6,
which we're okay with because we're young. But when he goes, he does the house thing and gets the food for that reason.
Yeah, or a bed and breakfast or Airbnb or something like that.
Yeah, so we Airbnb a house, and that's what we got this year. We got a bigger house for all of us.
And Anthony buys a pallet of eggs and
Anthony bought
the whole thing.
Anthony bought a pallet of 5 dozen eggs last year for SEMA when we were down at the house because he was like, I'm going to eat 6 eggs a day.
Yeah.
And nobody believed him.
I'll eat them all.
Yeah.
And screw you guys. I'm going to eat them. And we all kind of just stared at him. And then how many eggs did you eat, Anthony?
I had like about 12 of them.
You did not.
And okay, well, it was like
You had 6.
Okay, so well,
Out of a whole pallet.
I personally had 6. I think I made 6 for the other people.
I
that
made
wanted
you
some.
4 of those 6.
Well,
So then I made
one
2.
morning, like one of the last mornings, he was desperately was like, I have to make this egg thing work. I can't look like I didn't eat them all. So, do you guys want eggs? You're going to get eggs. And he just started making a bunch.
Just throw them out the back window and start throwing them in.
It's like, I ate them all.
But
Nobody believed
because
me.
the thing is what I found is that, when you get to that SEMA zone, I was sitting there thinking we're going to have a lot of time to sit
No,
down.
and we kept thinking we were.
That didn't,
that's the face of experience
that
right
didn't
there.
happen, and it was more of a matter of everybody out the door right now.
No, every
I'm
morning
like-
we were
I'm
out
like,
the door
Yeah.
by
I'm
I'm
7. You didn't have
grabbing,
time.
muffins, and I'm like, well, we have to stop and get an energy drink, so I won't be able to make it through the day. And they're like, Anthony, we don't have time for that. I'm like, no.
You'll get it at the center.
Yeah.
You'll notice when you come to the Optimum booth at 9 o'clock in the morning when the show opens, we're relaxed, we're calm, we're ready to go, we're energized. That's because when we leave SEMA at night, we go for supper and we go to bed.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we do.
Yeah.
That's
how
what
you
we
do
do.
it.
But you
Okay.
guys were up.
Yeah.
So we were still
Well,
at the
Dane's
house.
showing me funny videos on the internet. And
Eric Andre,
we
man.
have,
He's
sleeping in a room
hilarious.
together.
we have a couple.
So-
We have a couple adult beverages, and we're like, "This is fun. It's 2:00 in the morning. We should
Oh,
probably
no.
go to bed."
Yeah. No, I've been doing SEMA for 20-some years, so it's you get over the Vegas thing, and we have a job to do.
We did go on a 6-mile hike, though.
Oh,
Yeah,
that was
that's
hilarious.
when,
That's
Rod
good,
and,
though.
Rod and Jody of Rhoda Fest.
They're like, you want to go down to the strip? And we're like,
We're like, well, it was
guess-
Halloween. It was
yeah,
Halloween
okay.
night, right? And we're like, and they're like, do you want to go walk around and go check out the, watch
This is
people?
after
Yeah,
we
it's
got
people
done.
watching,
Now,
right?
this is after we got done eating at Famous Dave's.
Yeah.
So we had bellies full of barbecue. We had bellies full of barbecue.
Hey, what you got? You got the manhandler.
The manhandler.
Dane got a burger called the Manhandler.
Okay. So we're assuming it's not an 1/8-ounce patty.
No.
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 this is like 5 different meats all packed onto one
Yeah.
thing.
And
It
some
shows.
jalapenos.
No, actually, if you
Well, I follow keto now, and it works when I'm doing it.
Yeah,
I just
exactly.
gotta not fall off the wagon.
Yeah.
He also likes cookies.
We we all love cookies. But
Guilty.
that was
There's
the
keto
thing.
cookies.
So we ate this food, and then Rod and Jody were like, let's go down to the strip, and we were thinking, guys, it's Halloween. We got to do something, like literally anything. And so we're like, let's go down to the strip. So we drive
So we
out
park
there,
at the Luxor.
and we get out, and they're like, all right, let's start walking.
And we thought, we'll go find a spot to hang out, we'll people watch.
Me and Dane
you
thought
know,
maybe we'll
chill
stop
out.
and get a drink for the walk. You know what I mean? Because you can do that
Yeah.
in Vegas.
Yeah.
But what ended up happening?
We walked all the way down to, where was it?
Like Camelot? No, it was
No,
further
we
than
walked.
that. It
we
was
walked
way further than that.
We walked to the Venetian,
yeah.
across the street, and back down
yeah.
towards the Luxor.
Basically,
and that
the
was it. We made a
giant
giant
loop.
circle.
Didn't
at a
stop
pretty
once.
brisk
Never stopped
pace.
moving. It
Yeah.
was a brisk pace.
Yeah.
It
Never
was a
stopped
very
moving.
brisk
Did the whole
pace.
thing.
And
we're
walked
going,
back to the cars.
When's it gonna? When are we
stopping?
gonna?
Just up here. Just up here.
Yeah.
Well,
And then we walked all the
Well,
way
yeah.
around, and then didn't stop.
we
And then
didn't
we
stop.
got back in the
We
car.
saw maybe 2 people dressed up because it was so early in the night still.
Right, yeah.
And me and Dane are sitting there thinking, are we stopping to get something to drink? Like, literally, I'm just thirsty for water at this
After
point.
a long day, you just want
Yeah,
some
we didn't even
kind
need beer. It
of
was just
Yeah,
water.
no.
beverage.
You
It
guys
doesn't
wanted-
matter what it is, just
No,
something.
And they didn't stop, and it was just all it was just a matter of one person having a little bit more dominance than the others in that particular situation. So we're like, let's continue to keep walking. So we
Pepsi,
basically
I'm still waiting for you.
we made it back. What are you doing? Aren't you drinking one of these bad boys right here? It's the taste of a new generation. 0 calories. But we end up getting back, and that was our night. Like, we literally were so tired after that walk.
Yeah, we
We
were
were like,
exhausted.
because we didn't do enough
well,
walking at SEMA.
we
Yeah, we
already.
didn't do enough
we even,
standing
like,
all day.
It was even
No.
like, Dane and Levi, do you guys want to do anything other than that? And they
Yeah, we were like,
we're-
I
we're
was
so
driving, and I
tired.
was like, where do you guys, do you want to still stop and get some? Like, it was only like 8:30, 9 o'clock.
we were just exhausted, dude.
You
Yeah,
know
so
it's
like,
bad
let's
when
go back
I
and go to
turn
bed.
down an offer for
Dane
beverages.
was like, I can't feel my feet.
I was like, do I still have legs? I don't know.
Because you had to get those gel
to
insoles
put
because your
gel
feet was
insoles.
I was
Your
gelling,
feet were
and even
dying.
that wasn't
Now,
cutting it.
Trick from an old guy.
All right.
When you're doing a trade show, bring yourself 2 or 3 pairs of shoes and
Or,
change every 2 hours.
For those of
Good
you that are
point.
going to SEMA,
bring 2 or 3 pairs of shoes
Yeah.
and change every 2 hours.
You heard
Okay,
it here,
but
folks.
Also, don't wear a pair of literally brand new shoes. Break them in for like
Oh,
a
yeah,
week
yeah.
before
Yeah.
you bring them, because that's also not a great idea. Because we bought
New shoes
shoes
for
last
the
year
event.
for the event, didn't wear them.
So all of us had matching shoes.
I didn't break them in. All of you guys did. I didn't. I didn't listen to you. And I ended up wearing them there. And I just remember, and they were comfy shoes, but I remember the transition from going to the hard granite, concrete.
Asphalt, yeah.
Asphalt to the cushioned padding carpet. And it was literally like I just walked into I don't know. It was like a moment of...
you pay extra for that padding, but that padding is so worth it.
Now, you can pay twice as much and get the really good padding. Dr. G gave us a gift 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay.
Because he was tired of hearing us complain that the padding was not good enough. He went to Freeman and gave them the credit card and cried. But
don't we all?
Yeah, exactly. But everybody remarks the flooring in our booth.
That's what
it's like walking on a cloud.
No, when people are walking by,
what we
like,
did last
I'm going to
year.
stay here. For a minute.
Exactly.
No, we did that last year.
Okay,
and that's what we did was we got the super thick mat underneath.
Yeah.
And to the point that Mr. Aldossery, when he came into our booth, he was like, "Oh, you have the same floor as Optimum."
Yes.
And he was just like, he was looking and then he saw a chair and he's like, "I'm going to sit down."
I'm going to stay for a while.
We had so many people just walking over, and I was like, "What's up, dude? What's going on?" He's like, just
standing on your floor.
Tell me about these towels. What's up with these? I'm like, "You're using me for the floor."
I know what you're doing.
I'm okay with that because you're here in the booth, so I'll take that. But,
well, and out in the tents, it's not, folks out in the tents, they're newer. They either don't know or they don't want to throw their budget out there the first year for flooring, so they're just not doing it.
That was the one thing we took.
Our booth kind of stood out in that sense.
We did it.
Yeah.
Well, because you didn't see anybody standing around at Mr. Sanderson's booth.
I don't think he even had carpet. I think it was just an asphalt ground.
I felt bad.
The perforated tubing machine man, which I felt really bad for him. Big fan, though. He was right across the booth.
He's a big fan of Wash Wednesday because he watched all the
he loves watching your videos.
I had a 10x10 booth. It was a tube perforating machine. It was actually really cool.
It was
really cool, but there was just he didn't have a lot of foot traffic, and I felt bad. And I was like, maybe it's because he didn't have the padding.
Our part of the tent was challenging because we're right next to the doors, so people's first instinct is when they're walking into those tents, just keep walking forward and something will catch my eye. They don't even notice the first
we were at the very entrance.
aisles when they walk in. We were right there where the BMWs were drifting. Right inside that door was us around the corner. And that guy, he had it worse because while we were on the side that faces towards the doors, even though we were blocked by stuff, we faced that way. Poor Mr. Sanderson facing the other way.
Yeah.
You're not going to see him.
Yeah, we don't know if his name was Sanderson. We just called him Mr. Sanderson.
It was like Sanderson perforated tubing.
His
cool machine,
name
cool
is
guy.
Mr. Sanderson. If anybody asks, that's his name.
So those that were wondering, he spent the first day just reading his own pamphlets.
Eating an apple, reading pamphlets.
That of his own making.
But he got them memorized.
Yeah. He knew them well.
And he stayed incredibly still.
Yeah.
It was
like a mannequin.
There's moments where he just wouldn't move. It's Mr. Sanderson.
Is he alive?
Is he still there, buddy?
Is he okay over there? Somebody change the channel on that TV and see if he reacts. But so needless to say, though, we're excited. You're going to be there. You're going to be driving there in the
Are
bus.
you driving?
No,
you're not driving.
We're flying from Memphis to...
okay. So that's...
No, but he's going to be on that whole east side of the country, south.
So we're leaving. Optimum, Dr. G just bought a new building. We're growing, I think, about 10 times in size, the building. But in the new building, there's actually going to be a parking spot for OptiForce One.
Nice.
They know. They knew.
That's amazing.
That'll be good.
I was actually, I don't know if you heard the podcast, but a couple 2 months ago, I was in Tennessee for my first time ever, and we went to Nashville. So I don't know how far that is from Memphis.
3 hours.
About 3 hours. I was just making a comment on how different Tennessee is from pretty much anywhere else I've been to. But then we went to the East Coast, and then I realized, okay, this is all like that. But the trees in Tennessee, like prehistoric sized trees. And I was telling Levi, I remember, I think you called me and I said, dude, this place is crazy. These trees and the greenery is insane. He's like, I know, it's the same thing. Memphis was pretty crazy too. So
every time Dan comes out, it's so green here.
Yeah. It is. It's ridiculously green. And I went to a Waffle House. My first experience was in Tennessee, and that was about what you would expect. from a Waffle House. Yeah. So, so this new building that Dr. G is building, is it close to the current building?
Yeah, it's a couple miles away. It's not a new building. It's a pre-existing building that he purchased. We're building it out. The classroom, which is maybe 1,500 square feet now.
The old one,
yeah. We're going to 6,000 square feet for the classroom.
Yeah,
and then it'll have a bigger bottling center, bigger blend center, bigger,
everything. Yeah, and things like O&R will have its own dedicated mix room and bottling line because every day Roberto has to make more.
Yeah,
it's just.
It'll be dedicated for that. And,
it's your staple. You gotta have it be.
Walking into that room smells so good though. If you walk in there and like,
well, Berto's the one that puts in. He puts in the scents.
Roberto is our fragrance specialist.
Yes,
he's the production manager, but the man has a really wonderful nose.
Yeah. He knows what smells good. He knows how to do it. But so other than that, though, I mean, that was everybody's weekend.
I'm excited about this new facility. Because, like you were saying, like the amount of output that the company's going to be able to do now is going to be able to, one, keep up with demand,
right?
But two, be ready for the future.
Ready for the future, exactly. Everybody rags on Optimum saying, you guys don't have marketing. Dr. G would never put marketing because we couldn't keep up with what we were doing now.
So, if we marketed, it would just be crazy.
And he's been looking for the right building for a good amount of time, finally found one, so purchased it. Now we'll be able to keep up with not only the demand we have now, but
future growth.
Future growth. So now we will start doing marketing and get all that stuff in. So
that'll be cool.
I see a lot of like your racing team stuff and things like that being posted, which is always cool to see in Australia and
Well, we have the K-Pax racing team, which is based out of Sonoma, California.
Okay, yeah.
With the Bentleys. Yeah. We have the Flying Lizard team, which is also based out of Sonoma, California. They're actually companion teams. They're racing Audi R8s. We have the Sandman, who is NHRA drag car, cool. Racing out of Memphis, Tennessee. We have Eric Rudolph racing the modified out of New York. He's in Ransonville, New York.
Yeah. And I was going to ask because, knowing your experience and history as like a tech and that kind of stuff, was that you kind of pushing going towards the racing and stuff like that? Or is that just...
Dr. G is a big race fan.
Okay.
So that was a natural for him. And it's just getting the name OptiCode out there. Yeah. It's, the installers don't necessarily see a direct benefit from it, but there is a benefit.
It's name exposure.
Anybody that owns a Bentley Continental knows the K-Pax team. Anybody that owns an Audi R8 knows the Flying Lizard team. In the Northeast, the modified fans are rabid fans, and they're rabid fans of the sponsors because they know without the sponsors, the sport does not exist.
Sport.
So even if someone detests Eric Rudolph, he's the worst to them. He's the worst thing on the track ever because he beats their driver every week. But he has OptiCoat written on the car. If they're getting a coating, that's the one they're going to get because OptiCoat sponsors a race car.
Yeah.
They respect that, even though they don't like the team or the driver.
Yeah.
They respect that
because you don't hear about that side of it too often. Just you're there,
right?
You're present. You're helping.
And we also sponsor another drag car out of San Diego, one of Dan's friends. So it's not a huge sponsorship, but it's there. And then in Australia, we have the McLaren. We have a Porsche. In Thailand, we have a Honda, which is in the Thailand Super Series.
Cool.
We've got a number of
that's a very nice, varied lineup of stuff. Yeah. I was just curious because I hadn't heard you guys. I hadn't spoken with you guys about that before, but I'm seeing it a lot more in this last year, just kind of popping up online. So
exactly.
It's cool to see.
Yeah.
No, that's pretty cool.
So I
Dane,
guess that
you never really finished what you did this weekend.
You didn't.
I just basically said skip me because all I did was work.
Yeah. Did you get to do anything this weekend? Did you get to go home?
Well, I mean, I went home, but you know what? I wanted some time off. It was literally, I just slept. There's nothing there. I went out for drives when I have my free time.
Dog, he kissed his girlfriend, and he came back to work.
Dane lives here mostly. Mm-hmm. He goes home, and he has a bed
Yep.
and a dog and a girlfriend. That's about it. That's all you have in your house.
Well,
Basically, you fall asleep and then you come back here.
I like watching YouTube. I like going for mountain drives. I like sounds like
He
a
has
dating profile.
Realistically, all he needs is a garage with a bed in the corner.
Dane, 29 years old, sitting at 5'9".
Taurus. Okay, yeah, no.
Enjoys walks
I think
in the
that
park.
sums it up.
Yeah.
So, thanks for making me feel inadequate.
You had a lot. You got a lot done this weekend, though. You did.
Yeah.
You guys were kind of under the gun on a lot of different videos
yeah.
and podcasts and things.
Well, and that's the
Yeah.
thing with Yvan here. We've got so much going on this week. We want to make sure we shoot stuff. Editing's going to have to wait on a lot of things, so we want to make sure that
Going
we're
into a very long
turning
and
it
cold
out.
winter, Dane. We're going to have time.
Gotta make
Well,
sure.
that's what we said last year, and that didn't happen.
Yeah,
and
No.
we were in
thought,
over our
we're gonna
head.
have all this to carry us through, and just
because the
didn't stop.
previous year was insane. So.
Let's see. SEMA is what, 2 days away?
Talk like that.
Yeah, it's gonna be like that.
It feels like
what's
that.
gonna
We
happen?
haven't finished our case yet.
we're getting-
It's almost done.
We're gonna get back from SEMA. And we're gonna be like, we're gonna breathe, and then we're gonna be like, holy crap! Next week is MTE.
Yeah.
What happened?
It starts all over again,
Yeah.
and this time there's more. So,
No, and then
I
our
mean, you guys are
calendar
ahead of us in terms
literally
of
fills.
traveling and all that stuff. But
Yeah.
man,
No,
it's when you're just starting to do it, it's a crazy feeling of like, oh, this is what life is now.
Yeah.
September to June is pretty much nonstop.
Yeah.
And then June to September is pretty much nonstop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds
about
I
right.
stopped somewhere around the 1st of April for about I don't know
An
5
hour.
days, an hour. Yeah, yeah, back to it. That was nice.
I don't know if they
Enjoyed that.
warned you, but my work schedule is 7 a.m. to 11 p.m.
That's right.
yeah.
No, I remember.
So we'll be
I remember you
we'll
got
be
the work
recording a few
ethic.
videos.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, we'll make sure.
No,
So
well,
you guys are working shifts?
Yeah.
Tim, back to work.
Tag out.
Tim. He
All
can
right.
hear us, and he's like,
Yeah.
"You guys, I hate you."
Oh man. Okay.
Tim.
Well,
Yeah.
I guess this brings our main show to an end. Switching over to the Rag Company logo because, well, Pepsi, you missed your chance. We got Lacroix now.
Yeah.
And on that note, I want to thank you. If you're watching, you're probably on the Rag Company podcast YouTube channel, which is different than our Rag Company YouTube channel. So if you haven't subscribed over there, please do so. And as far as listening, you're probably on your favorite, iTunes, anything like that, Shout Engine. Find it, listen to us, and tell a friend. We always appreciate that.
And you can subscribe there, too.
Yes, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already so you know when new episodes come out.
And leave
also,
a comment and review.
I was going to
please.
say,
Yes.
comment and review. 5 stars are very helpful, but, you do what you think's
Please.
appropriate. Just make
And tell
sure,
a friend.
in addition to doing the star rating, I'm going long on this, but I want to say, writing a review, no matter how short, really makes a difference.
I left a review, and it's our own podcast.
Yeah, just say like thanks or
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Very,
It has
very
to be at
ambiguous.
least 6 characters.
Yeah.
Something like
Nice.
that.
So thank you.
Nicey.
Because the number of ratings is good, but when you see there's reviews, that really gets you, and it makes
So
you
leave a
want to
review,
share it.
guys,
So
please.
we really appreciate that. Anyway, guys, that's all I'm saying. Till next week. Adios.
See
See
ya.
ya.